Out here back at Sonic Pond. This time I'm going to take that Mepps Aglia Inline spinner. All right. So kicking off the mobile fishing live stream IRL series. In this case, yours truly, the average angler life. Trying to pump up the new channel sounding here. Formerly the City of Allen Fishing Field Team's COAF Field Team, but now we're going to call it Angler Life. Average Angler Life. Because yours truly is an average angler, but definitely likes to get out there and do a little fishing. We'll try the Ultralight bait caster and we'll just start working our way around the pond and see what's going to catch on 1/16 ounce inline spinner and a Ultralight bait caster, Monoscorpion BFSXG. 4-pound strand and 4.5-foot ultralight rod and the Mepps Aglia silver. I brought an extra lures just in case, but oh wow, water's really clear. This is some very clear water. Wow, gonna have to step lightly here. All right, well, let's see what a little guy like this will do. Temperatures are fairly chill. I think like in the 70s maybe right now. Slight wind, and I'm gonna stick with doing this steady retrieve using this ultralight setup and just kind of drag it in slow. They may be a little bit deeper given that the temperatures has dropped on us most recently. We'll have to play it by ear. Just amazed at how clear this water is right now. Very clear water. All right, let's see what we'll strike on an inline spinner. Steady retrieve. To me, oh, there's a hit right there. Little guy tagged it. Let's go pop it again. I just saw him. Got the polarized glasses, so I definitely saw the strike. I could tell it was a little bass. See if I can get him to hit again. Oh yeah, there he goes again. Holy cow. He must be little. I'm using a 1/16 ounce inline spinner. He should be hitting it better than that. Come on. Let's see if he'll come back. Oh man, that was a very light bite. 2 hits in a row. Kind of right on that transition where the pond kind of sticks out a few feet or so and then starts dipping. Where did that guy go? A couple of good hits there. Little, but hey, it's part of the fun using these inline spinners. All right, just a real light tap. Wow. Oh, we got some folks joining. Hey, how's it going? Where are you fishing? I'm over here in the City of Allen. Little pond. It's in Texas, just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And I call it Sonic Pond because there's a Sonic drive-in food dealie just right down the road here, or just right next to us, in fact. We'll go buy it here as I make the round. Oh, there's one looking at it. Oh, it's a little bluegill. Yeah, it's a pond is over there, or the pond is over here, kind of one of these straight, long ponds, narrow, but definitely holds a lot of fish, and the water's really clear. And then past that is the Sonic drive-in little restaurant dealie. There's another little bluegill chasing it. Wow, pretty interesting seeing how clear this water is. Definitely like that, and it definitely gives you good heads up to definitely bring those polarized glasses. Okay, let's see. I had a couple of hits, a couple of little bluegill kind of tailing it. I just felt some junk on that one. Junk in the trunk on that one. Let's clear it. Okay, and I'm just gonna slowly work my way. Let's go back this way where I had that little bluegill hit it, or that little bass hit it. No, he's not there anymore. Okay, well, we'll keep going. And I tend to work the shallows. They kind of parallel to the bank, if not at an acute angle. A lot of my fish that I've caught in these ponds have mainly been closer in. Just kind of work it in. Keep an eye out for anything chasing behind it. Okay, let's do a little bit further cast out here ahead of us. Kind of work that incline or that slope. You can definitely see the silver blade moving. And really, when you're fishing these inline spinners on this ultralight gear, you really don't have to go fast. Just fast enough to keep that blade moving. There's a hit again. I saw it. Must be more of those little guys. A little fingerling bass. Well, maybe we'll hook into one of those, and then maybe we'll hook in one of his bigger buddies also. Okay, and all the hits I've been seeing have been right along that edge where it slopes and then dips. It's about where I've been getting the hits right now. Okay, let's see if we can coax one to stay on the hook this time. Let's do a little bit closer in too. Sometimes they'll be lurking here. Cooler temperatures, definitely a very comfortable day. Okay, that's some junk. And then it's pretty interesting when March time frame comes around. This place is like filled with a bunch of bass on beds. little tangle here. Let me fix that. And amazed at the numbers that I see in this pond over the years. Oh, I got a tangle here. Let me fix that. There we go. Oh, snagola. Got me. You got the tater salad. All right, let's try it again. Jeez. There we go. All right, let's get we got another call out. Hey, howdy. I can't read that. No translation here. All right, let's just pop it out there. Do another steady. Oh, there's a tap again. Holy cow. That's 4 taps now. See some little bluegill moving about. There's a little bluegill running right now. Okay. All right, so we're certainly getting some taps, but we haven't hooked up yet. But that's part of the real life series here, in real life. There's no editing here. It's the full Monty, stakes and all. All right, let's keep working it. Let's see if we can get another one here. Come on, pop it right there. Okay, no, that one's got some junk on it. Let me clear it. Water's fairly clear. I am seeing some of this greenery here kind of get mixed up in there, so we'll have to play that by ear. Okay, let's get another cast out. Work it over here. Let's see if we can coax one of these guys to strike. I'm gonna slow it down, get a little bit deeper in the water column. All right. And again, it's that steady retrieve, just fast enough to maintain the blade spinning. That's all you really need. No fast, blinding speed action here. It's just a slow and steady. Oh, let me check the chat here. What do we got? High salt fish, pro freshwater here. Oh, cool. Saltwater fishing's awesome. Where I grew up on the coast over here in Texas, South Texas area. And definitely love the saltwater fishing. Okay, there's a tap. I'm getting into that junk again. Holy cow, a lot of junk. All right, let's get that out of there. Let's go cast one out further. Go over here mid-pond, let's see what happens. Again, 1/16 ounce inline spinner, Mepps Aglia, and this little Shimano Scorpion BFS XG ultralight bait caster, 4-pound Stren mono, and a little 4.5-foot ultralight Berkeley lightning rod. Certainly is a fun combo. I've used this one many times over the years. I got started BFS fishing. One of the subscribers, he pinged me one day and says, hey, you ever done any BFS fishing? And I asked, what was that? And then he explained it, and when I looked at it, I was like, lo and behold, oh, there's a hit. There we go, little guy. That explains the little guys that were popping it. Oh, man down. Okay, it's a little bass. Yeah, he was suggested trying this thing called BFS fishing, which is, to me, ultralight bait casting. Okay, it's a bait caster that can handle really light lures, ultralights. In fact, I got another ultralight bait caster that can handle the old 1-gram trout magnet. There's a hit again. Nice. Yeah, and that's the fun thing about these things is makes these little guys feel bigger. You know what I mean? It's awesome. And then I think the name of the game of this is really, if you're fishing an inline spinner, even if you're fishing a bigger size inline spinner, a lot of times folks will cast that thing and just kind of, do one of these egg beater style retrieves and just keep cranking and yanking. But in this case, slow and steady, just enough to keep that blade moving is all it needs. And right now I'm thinking I'm getting some of these little guys that are kind of hanging out here because we're close to some of this vegetation. I'm getting clobbered there. I can feel it. Got some junk in the trunk there. Let's get that out of there. Slipped right here on this culvert. So here in this culvert, I've caught bass in the culvert itself, as well as over there. When this vegetation's cleared out, I've caught multiple fish. Same spot, basically, hanging out in these culverts. So if you ever fish some of these ponds and whatnot in your area, you might kind of take it slow and steady as well, in case you might run into some of these guys lurking in the culverts. In fact, that one culvert over there on the other end has been a consistent one using Ned rigs and Senko worm. Yeah. Those plastics, the Gary Yamamoto's. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Oh, we got some more calling out. Okay, using lure or fly. This round I'm going with an inline spinner. Definitely like the fly fishing, but today I feel like some BFS, ultralight bait casting. All right, and believe it or not, in this pond I have caught 28-inch catfish. So I'm sure someone let them go in here, but yeah, I caught them on a Yozuri little micro lure on 2-pound test line, and got that video lurking in the archives, so do check that out if you get a chance. Oh, there was a hit right there. He just barely swiped it. A little bit bigger than the other guys. Yeah. Mr. Bass, look at that. Mr. Bass, Mr. Mepps Aglia Inline spinner. All right, that's fun. That is fun stuff. You know, what's cool though is, it may not be the biggest, even those little guys, they were putting up a pretty good fight on this baby. So that's always fun stuff. Some more call outs, bear with me. Florida catfish are dangerous. Oh yeah. All right. Well, we're here in Texas, and there's some nice sized catfish to be had here. I'm not sure about danger, but they sure are fun to catch, as well as, hey, maybe even cook in some cases. I've mainly been using catching catfish jug line, and over here at our local lake, taking out the kayak and mainly doing some beer battered fish fries with this one recipe I got from an old kayak fishing magazine. And then came with a really good tartar sauce that I saved the recipe, and probably see some of those videos. I got like over 3,000 videos. Been doing this for a while and having fun with it. Okay, just recently just did a name change. We were COAF field team, City of Allen Fishing Field Team, but yours truly finally admitted the other four aren't joining me back again. They have since moved on. I'm married, had kids, and doing that thing. While yours truly is enjoying a little bit empty nesting time, just getting out here, doing a little fishy. So I decided, hey, I'm not an expert. I'm an average but avid fisherman. And so I've called the channel Average Angler Life, because come join me on this journey of whatever strikes. And what I also like to call it is learn by my trials and errors, because over the years I've made a lot of errors and a lot of trials and whatnot, but every once in a while I do catch a fish, and hey, maybe you might pick up on a tip or two. All right, and if you certainly do hook up, yeah, I'm listening. Definitely call it out and let me know how you did. All right, here's this one culvert. Earlier this year I was fishing this spot, and it has a little dip, sort of like a little channel that's been built in here, and I have gotten about 3-4 bass out of here just kind of doing this, but I don't know what it's going to be like today. We certainly have to try it. Again, slow and steady, just enough to keep that blade moving, and we'll let the fish do the rest. All right, nothing there, but hey, let's go. Shoot, man, like I said, mistakes and all. So what I did was I did a side cast, and I slapped the back of the culvert, and I just definitely popped up everything. So here it is. I'm gonna have to see if I can get this thing undone real time here, because, well, that's what I said. It's going to be one of these mobile fishing live streams in real time or real life. And you get to see the mistakes and all too, as well as maybe some of the success. So here I've got two problems. I got one, my line is kind of tangled, but I'm going to kind of poke at it and see if I can get the overrun taken care of, or the backlash. And then the other part is I'm going to be able to recover my spinner, because it's on the bottom right now, probably in some of that greenery with all that junk. So let's see if I can kind of coax this out of here. Okay, if I can find where it's kind of catching on the next loop, I might be able to break free. Okay, and if not, I do have a backup rod and reel, or reel. Actually, no, I do have some backups, so could always fall back on that. But I really want to fish the inline spinner, and I really want to do it on this baby today. But yeah, that's kind of a bummer, isn't it? You know, you're just fishing away, having a good old time, gotten a bass or two, and the next thing you know, bam. And hey, that's one of the reasons why I do have a 6-foot ultralight, and it's a fun rod, but I went ahead and got the 4.5-foot model of that same brand. It's the Magic Handing L. And the reason why I went with the shorter one versus the longer one was just for this, because I tend to side cast when I'm ultralight bait casting, and what happens then is you're not really paying attention behind you, and lo and behold, you just hooked onto the ground, some grass behind you. You know, yeah, it could be brutal at times. So I noticed that if I go with a 4.5-foot size, I tend not to do this that often. But hey, here I am. I'm doing it right now. Look at this. I was able to free it. So now let's see if we can get some of the loose wraps out, and then we'll work it back. And so key takeaways here is I didn't immediately start cranking down on it to get it out of there. Oh yeah, we saved it. Nice. Now let's go check it out. I slapped the concrete behind me pretty good, so not sure. Maybe I might have damaged or bent the inline spinner. And speaking of inline spinners, okay, so you can buy these. They're a fairly simple lure, but I also make my own. Over the years, I've accumulated a lot of junk, and one of the junk that I got, that I'm glad I got, is one of those inline spinner makers, I guess. It's the one that you use to get the shaft, maintain a straight shaft, but at the same time get that little spring steel twisting to give it the loops to put on what you're using. So it'll make this top little wire loop here. It also lock that in. It's pretty cool. I've got some videos on that. Just do a search, DIY inline spinner. I would say throw in the word COAF or the letters COAF, so at least you'll pick up on the videos, because right now I renamed the channel Average Angler. Oh, there's a hit. Average Angler Fishing Light, or Average Angler Life, and you may not get too many videos with that, but with COAF you definitely will see a lot of the stuff that I've done over the years. What is it, 2008 is when we started doing, or when I started doing this? All right, I think this is number 3 or 4. All right, let's see if I can get them out. All right, little basalito fingerling. Isn't that cool? Ultralight bait casting. Love it. Do love fly fishing as well. Saltwater fishing, tinkara, hand line, you name it. If it catches fish, I definitely would like to learn that technique. That's kind of one of the main reasons why I took up all the different techniques I've been doing, fly fishing, bait casting, spinning, etc. Because sometimes one works over the other. But more recently, I've been having a lot of fun with this stuff. Yeah, fly fishing, ultralight bait casting. Those trips to the local tail race, Denison Dam, for those striped bass have definitely been awesome. And I went and pulled out the old switch rod to do some wade fishing. There's a hit. Little guy popped it and let go. Oh, there's a hit. Another one followed up behind it. Nice. Oh, man, he's in the junk. Bear with me. I'm going to have to go and maybe get a little muddy. What is this guy? It's a little fingerling bass. Oh yeah, he's in the junk. Let's get him out of there. Okay, there he is. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's what you get with this channel, the full Monty. When I do these live ones, I don't edit the video. When I do a restream, I will edit the video and render it, put the clips together. And that's usually for those longer ones, like when I did that trip in the kayak, 3 hours of video and have to clip everything together. But I definitely won't do much more editing to that other than rendering it and getting out some of the stopping points, because I do use that DJI Osmo Action 4 with a wireless mic, and I set the camera behind me in the kayak, and I have to voice control it, so you hear me telling it to stop or start recording. So I'll get that edited out, because I'm sure y'all don't want to hear a bunch of starts and stops. I'm sure you guys want to see what's biting. And then again, after that, usually after these, I also come out with an edited version of this so that it takes out a lot of the slow stuff and gets you to the action. So if you're not able to stay a whole live stream, you can definitely come back and maybe a week. Oh, there's a hit again. Little guy. All right, we're getting some strikes, and they all seem to be along that little slope that goes right here and then starts getting deeper. Maybe try that at your local pond, is kind of get an eye for what's out there and adjust. And I mean, if you notice, I've been casting, let's say like this over here every once in a while out there, but most of my casts have been pretty close and most of my catches have been pretty close. It's as if they're kind of lurking right there, waiting for something to strike or waiting for something to pass by. All right, let's go back this way. Might as well check our 6 here. What do you say? Steady action so far, not blazing action, but definitely keeping me going. Yeah, so I'm pretty glad that you guys are able to join me today. Average Angler Life, to pick up on yours truly not being an expert, just an average go. Coming out here to do a little fishing, maybe having a mistake or two, just like that little backlash I had, hitting the back of a culvert. But hey, also catching, there we go, that one's running too. I hear a little bit of drag coming off the reel clicker here. It's a bluegill. Look at that. Mr. Big Guy is going to be a bluegill. Nice. Very pretty. All right. Well, they certainly can put up a fight, especially on this ultralight here. All right. And it's kind of one of my favorite times of the year is when the ponds clear up from all that greenery to clobber the area, and it just kind of opens you up to being able to try some lures that you haven't been able to try because the ponds get so clobbered. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get another one to strike here. Come on, Mr. Fisher. Talk to me, talk to me. Let's go do a longer cast. Take it out in the middle. Let's see what's lurking in the depths. Of course, I don't know how deep it is here. I don't think it's very deep. Maybe 8 feet, maybe 10 feet max. I think I saw one of the city guys come out and do some maintenance on the fountains, and I think he was just wearing some wade fishing gear, chest waders. So yeah, I don't think he was 10 foot tall. So all right, let's go cast straight out. A lot of times when I'm starting up on a new pond, or not a new pond, but starting a fishing day, I'll typically start casting further out. And then as I clear in front of me like I'm doing here, I'll start walking up to the bank like so, just slowly, because the main thing I want the fish to see first is my lure, not me, not my rod, not my shadow, nothing like that. Basically the lure. And then at this point, I'll be walking slowly, not fast, just kind of working my way up and down around the pond. This will allow me to cast and kind of work it parallel, if not at an acute angle. Oops, something just moved over there. Okay, got a glimpse of it, but I couldn't really tell what it was. A lot of times I'll see some folks, they'll just kind of come walking up to a pond and just right up to the bank, and then they'll start casting. A lot of times when they're doing that, and I'm sure I've been guilty of it too, is as I do that, lo and behold, right in front of me is a bunch of fish just scattering away because you spooked them. So yeah, you definitely want to clear ahead of you when you first come up to a pond. Yeah, I guess that even applies for rivers and whatnot too, you know. Instead of just coming up there and just walking right in and fishing, kind of take it easy. Oh, there's a hit. Oh, that looked blue golly like. Came in there and kind of tapped it. Let's go ahead and cast again. One of the things I like to do is, hey, if you get a strike, nothing wrong casting back at it again. Maybe you hit it again. The other thing I like doing is if I see some activity, fish activity, I'll definitely cast to it and see what happens. It's like a rule of thumb. And then, the key rule of thumb, and I think I've got it as one of my fishing mottos or rule of thumb is, when in doubt, set the hook. So if you're not sure that you got a hit, just set the hook. And a lot of times I've been pleasantly surprised. Setting that hook got me something. All right, let's try again here. I'm gonna slow it down. Okay. This little rebar thing sticking up here. Once this greenery clears up and let's say start of next year, be able to come right in there and usually pull a fish out or two out of that. Right at that spot right there. Sometimes they're kind of set up a bed, you know, that time of year when they're spawning. Other times they're just kind of lurking there. Well, we got some call outs. Let's go check them out here. Finally found someone actually catching fish. Ha! All right, cool. Like it's nice. Double click the screen chat. Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, and I find that I tend to get a lot more strikes, especially in heavily pressured areas, downsizing my lure. Instead of going with the bigger traditional lure sizes, I go with this little 1/16. And what I think is a lot of times these bass and fish, they just see so many of these lures thrown at them that as long as you can throw something that's a little bit different, in this case smaller, I think that might up the catch rate. Plus it's a good excuse to take up ultralight bait casting, but you don't have to. You can use, there's a hit, a couple of hits right there in a row. Shoot. You can just go an ultralight spinning gear. I got a bunch of that gear too. I just kind of put them up for now. I think my son and some kids that will come fish with me at times, they'll be using that instead of the bait caster because of the thumb education you got to do with these guys. But I'll tell you what, once you got this dialed in, you don't really have to worry about back lashes, and I think you can have more control in your cast. I seem to be more accurate for me, but that's me personally. Oh, there's a hit. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yes, me likes. All right, yeah, sure is fun, isn't it? Glad you guys are able to confirm or be witness to, yes, I do catch a fish or two. because there's a lot of times I don't. Be out here many times and I'll maybe get one. And I'll be first to admit, yeah, it's fun to be in the great outdoors, etc., but it sure is much more fun when you got another fish on the line, if you know what I mean. Because yes, it's about nature and the sun, the wind, the rain, etc., but it is still, for yours truly, that tug is the drug. That keeps me coming back. Be it a little tug, a big tug, medium tug. I just want the tug. All right, let's go, let's go. I can see a couple of little fingerlings kind of swiped at it over here. Got these polarized glasses on. Oh, there we go. Working structure. Doing like the old bass pros, huh? Got some structure, some shrubbery in this case. Got a little structure in the ground, or if not the bank, sorry, the slope of the bottom. And I'm connecting. Isn't that fun? Yeah. So I guess some key takeaways, just like the bass fishermen do, is definitely fish structure. And once you get a pattern, in this case, the pattern I'm seeing is they're not far. They're closer to the bank and seem to be more right on that edge. I would say about the 3-4 foot range, but they are sure coming up to hit these guys. I can see them since I got these polarized glasses, and since the pond is so clear, I can actually see them come up behind it from below. So a lot of times I'm able to prepare for the strike instead of being surprised, which is nice. All right, let's see. We can get another one on the line. Let's go pop it this way. Okay, I'm gonna bring it over here, kind of work it along that little slope that's there. Okay, and two little guys over here to my right over here. Let's see if I can coax one of them to come back and hit it. Little fingerlings, but hey, I still want to catch them. No, not that time. All right, let's go this way. Let's kind of work these little branches and whatnot and see if we can coax one out of there again. And we'll work it slow. No takers there. Okay. Here I'm going to go and clear my left here and start out with a sort of an acute angle cast to the again, just working it slow enough, fast enough to just maintain the blade movement. Other than that, I'm not going much faster than that. Pretty much right there. I am keeping an eye on the lure. Got some junk on there because nothing wrong being able to see your lure getting struck, huh? What do you say? I'm gonna move up and now I'm gonna try to get this spot right here. Try not to get tangled up, but trying to get it as close as I can up near these branches. This is a tree branch that fell earlier during the year when we had some storms passing through, and started up over here when it fell, and now it's kind of pushed down a little bit. So maybe there's some fishies kind of hanging out by it now. Okay, nothing that way. All right, let's go cast one further out. Let's take it out there. You can see how far I got it. Oh, right by the fountain. Little 1/16 ounce on this bait caster. Certainly can cast with this baby. Oh, there's a hit. Man, that one felt good too. That one felt good. Yeah. All right. Oh. Well, maybe it was this. No, it wasn't a leaf. That was a fish, man. Let's do it again. Pop it out that way. Okay. Steady retrieve. Let's see him take it. Yeah, during the warmer months, I'll cast out further, deeper, let it sink a little bit. Get some good hits out there. But a lot of times, most of the happenings are up close and personal, right along the bank, if not at a slight angle. So let's get back to that pattern and see if we can coax another one here. Okay. There's not much vegetation here right now. They definitely cleaned it up, or the temperature change and all that finally got everything slowing down in the growth. But I know there's some rocks and a lot of good structure, as the bass pros call it, right over here. Of course, let's not forget to cast out a little bit further. Let's go and pop it a little, make sure that blade's turning. One thing I noticed when it comes to like a Panther Martin style blade or a rooster tail, I can definitely feel more of the vibration with that blade movement compared to this trout or the Mepps Aglia. But they all catch fish, these inline spinners. Okay. All right, let's just keep working. Let's see if we can coax another one. Most of our stuff was just passed over here on this end of the pond, but a lot of times I'll get some onesie twosies here, and then I'll get to the other end of the pond and the action will pick up again. Maybe they just like the ends of the pond more than the length of the pond. I don't know. Just Just got to remember, that's all. A lot of times you find the pattern in a pond, particular pond, you come back to it, it's usually the same. All right, just depending on the time of year, you may have to make a little switch or two, or whatever the conditions may be. Could be all clobbered with junk and everything. All right. I am really surprised about this one, how clear the water is. I can see to the bottom about 3 foot down right now. Easily. All right. It does help having the polarized. There's a hit right there. All right. Oh, big bluegill. It's got the little orangey stuff on him. Okay, and again, you saw he wasn't deep in the pond. He was about maybe within 10 foot, if not 8, from the banks. He does feel cold though. Temperature is dropped in the water compared to just a week ago. So yeah, we're starting to shift into the fall pattern, I guess. What does that mean? Well, I don't know. Other than I'm gonna fish an inline spinner right now because it's working. All right. Oh, we got some more call outs. What do we got here? Throw along the rocks. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's all rocks right here. Okay, and we'll just kind of work our way along. Let's see it. Let's feel it. That last one, I felt the hit versus saw the hit. Let's go over here and get near to this vegetation and see if we can coax one out of there. Okay, that one I had to kind of kick it in gear to get that blade moving. Okay, let's move up here. Okay, we'll cast out and then we'll cast in. Okay, some shallow stuff there. Get another cast out. Okay, I'm gonna try working the slope. I'm gonna try getting it down a little and then try following it along. Maybe I might get one of those guys that's lurking down there. No, okay, nothing there. Let's try it again. All right, slow and steady. Keep that blade moving. That's all you need. Fish will do the rest. Well, of course, you gotta land them still. You get a strike, doesn't mean you're gonna land them. You definitely have to bring it in. Fish ain't gonna jump into him in your hands all by him lonesome. All right, let's go further out this time, just to clear it. Okay, you can see, no problem casting this thing for some of the distances I'm looking for. Bad for a little 1/16 ouncer, huh? Bait casting style. So for this ultralight bait casters, I've got the Shimano Scorpion BFS XG. That's this one right here. Went and got the Shimano Corrado. That's the most recent purchase I've had. Last year, I think it was. And then I've got a couple of the Casking Zephyrs, and then I got that Flight Feather Kingfisher. 1 gram, cast 1 gram trout magnets out the box. No tweaking, just kind of teach your thumb some. That's it. There's a hit. Oh, he's following it. He was following it. See if I can get him to hit it. It was a little bass. See if he'll come back and hit it. Ooh, I saw him. He came right in, got off, but he certainly came back at it. Was following it in. See if he'll come back and hit it. No, I got some junk on it. Yeah, got my heart going again. Got my heart going. Not a big one, but hey, still gets the blood pumping. I'll tell you that. All right, let's feel it. Be the line, be the lure. Oh, no, that was the bottom. That wasn't a fish. All right, let's try again. Coming up on the other end here, so maybe things will pick up on this end. Okay. Now, I didn't bring any extra batteries, so normally I can connect and have a extra power bank, and I can do these for 2-3 hours at times from my phone, but this one was supposed to be a quick trip because I still got some honeydews that I got to sneak away and do. Yeah, gonna do some chilling and grilling tonight on a fall Texas day. Perfect timing to do so. Okay, so I got to knock out a few honeydews to prep for that, and then, well, hey, who knows? Maybe I'll be able to restream some of this and we can do a little Q&A later on this evening if I'm able to break away enough. If not tomorrow, it's just kind of call out anything that you may have. So stay tuned for that. Certainly love doing those Q&As and kind of answering the mail. Oh, yes, right there. Man, did it again. And this one's in some, oh, there we go. Look at that. Got a little muddy and wet here. All right, bear with me. I got to get this guy back. All right. So that was one of those undercut banks here, and I stepped in it and got a little muddy. Got a little muddy right there. Well, it's my other pair of shoes that I use for this. Just, man, I'm gonna have to wash them off. All right, well, got another one. All right, that's fun. Little Basilito. No big bruisers yet, but hey, they eventually show up. And we still got half the other pond, or this pond to go. We're only halfway through. All right. All right. I got to clean this off a little. Woo, definitely got some mud and gunk on my shoes. Let's see if we can coax another one to strike here. That one hit on the other side of the greenery. Okay, let's pop it out this way. Maybe one will be lurking out here. I'm gonna let it sink. Little sink. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. No takers there. All right, let's go further out. So one year I came out here and there was one spot. I was casting from the far bank over there, and I was casting, I think it was a Panther Martin inline spinner. And every time I cast to a spot on this side from the other, I was getting these nice sized bluegill, really nice ones. And I was surprised how many. I probably pulled out 10 out of that one spot. And I was so surprised because all I did was kept casting to the same spot. Oh, look at that. Okay, how best to cast? For this case, I tend to do the side cast versus overhead, but you'll see me also do some overhead casting. Main thing is just having your reel dialed in. And the main thing is spool tension. Make sure you have that dialed in, and then your brakes. Spool tension, main thing you're looking for there is when you release it, seeing it drop, and then when it hits the water, how much does it overrun or not? Depending on that, you may have to kind of tweak it. And then the other thing is looking at the brakes or adjusting the brakes as needed. Oh, that was a nice bass that just took off. Ooh, he was right in that green stuff right here. See if he'll come back. There he goes. Yeah, he came back. All right. Yeah, like I was saying, rule of thumb, you cast the fish activity. In this case, the fish activity was a visual. I saw him kind of take off from the grass, and it looked like he went in that general direction, and I guess he hung out still, so cool beans. I got Mr. Bass on. All right. Okay. So yeah, for these ultralight bait casters, the key is really just getting it dialed in. All right. I'll give you an example. So I'll hit the button and I'll let it drop, and you see how much it overran. Okay. The reason I'm able to do that is I got my thumb educated at this point so I can kind of feather it. But when I'm first starting out, especially with a new reel, I'll usually adjust the spool tension so when it hits the ground without me touching it or thumbing it, that it won't do that overrun. And then from there, I'll start backing off on the spool tension once I feel comfortable that I can do that. And that's just kind of training the thumb. In the case of the brakes, key on the brakes is if it's going too much to the left or right, that's how I adjust my brakes. So usually I'll set the brakes either about in the middle of what it has, kind of midway, or even back it off all the way and try playing around with the spool tension before I set the brakes. But yeah, usually when I'm starting out with a new reel and my thumb's not been educated to it, I'll just adjust the spool tension by releasing the spool, letting that line or letting that lure free fall. When it hits the water or the ground and it stops, I'm watching this to overrun. And if it overruns a bunch, I'll start tightening up on the spool tension. Also, you want to see it free fall fairly fast. You don't want to see it slowly go down because that'll definitely impact your cast. And then there we go. There's a hit. Nice. What is he? Bluegill. Okay, so over here, right over there by that culvert, out about another, right there, looks like a bass moving about. That is all rocks. It's a foot to 2 foot, sticking out about maybe 15 to 20 feet, and it's all just a bunch of rocks and whatnot sticking out that far. So it's not very deep, but a lot of times I've caught fish just kind of lurking there, sort of like this guy. He was kind of lurking over there amongst the rocks, and he struck. Most times it's bass that's lurking in there. Not too many of the bluegill doing that. Okay, let's get this guy out. All right, so far you're seeing the effectiveness of an inline spinner, in particular the Mepps Aglia plain. I think it's the 1/0, 0. Yeah, 0. Same one I use for trout fishing. Okay, so here, let's go and cast a few over here by where we know these rocks are. See if we can coax one of these guys to strike. Okay, what's cool is I'm over here at Sonic Pond, right across this road here is another series of 3 ponds, and those are actually, they're not subdivision ponds, they're actually open to the public. There's Sonic, that drive-in I was telling you, why I call it Sonic Pond. Ease of reference. Someone says, hey, where'd you go fishing? Over there by the Sonic off of Bethany. All right, that's simple. Okay. All right, let's go over here to this culvert, cast it over here in this direction, and let's see what happens. What time is it? Ooh, might have to stop short because I got the honey-do list coming up. Holy cow. All right, let's go further out. Nice cast there, easy cast. Gonna just kind of stick with what's working, slow and steady. Okay, just fast enough to keep that blade moving, but still being slow and methodical. And I'm watching the line. When I don't see the line, or when I don't see the lure, I'm watching the line. When I see the lure, I'm watching the lure. Any indication, early warning maybe, that you might have a strike always helps. Okay, all right, let's try over here. So far we've coaxed what? One bass and one bluegill on this end. Seems like most of the strikes are over there on the other end, but hey, I'm open to this. Yeah, we got to find out. You can't find out what's here unless you're fishing it, you know. Okay, all right, what do we got here? Let me see. You play creature. Oh, that one's an old one. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm gonna go up here along the sidewalk with the road behind me, and we'll cast in that direction into the pond. So there's that road I was telling you about. Oh yeah, you can see a lot of the greenery here covering up the rocks. And I see a turtle right now. I don't see any fish movement, but let's kind of cast it out here and see if we can coax one to come out. Definitely can see my lure from up here. All right, let's go in this direction. Oh yeah, a lot of rocks, a lot of rocks. Let's see what's lurking below. That one's got junk on it. Let's clear it. Certainly can't catch them if you got a bunch of junk on the blade or the hook. Fish don't like that. All right, let's try it again. 4-pound test, strand mono. None of the fancy braid stuff. I think the fancy braid stuff I got was when I fished the coast with that Shimano Corrado BFS XG, and I got some of that Yozuri 4-pound test, but rated for 20-pound test. And that one I was able to catch a number of, what is it, needlefish, pompano. Oh, there's a hit. He hit it off, threw the hook on me. Pompano, some spadefish. I forgot how many sand trout and croaker and whiting I caught with it. But that's what we're using for bait to get some of those bigger guys to strike. In this case, we got a pretty nice sized black drum and a couple of sharks, 3, I think it was, maybe. And then just had a good old time. Got a Spanish Mac. That was a tasty one. Plus that pompano. I really am surprised how tasty that fish is. Now I understand why it's so popular. Okay, let's cast one way out there and see what happens. I'm gonna drag it in slow. There was one earlier over there to the right that was kind of lurking by the rocks. I wonder if he's still lurking over there. We'll go check it out real quick here in a moment. Just kind of sticking with the pattern. All right, got a little wind. Oh, the wind took that one over. Whew. Okay. All right. Slow and steady, slow and steady. See if that guy will hit it again. See my lure? Nope, nothing trailing it. All right, there we go. Got it right on the edge. All right, got it right on the edge. Had to cut it off to the right a little bit to adjust for the wind. Kind of working it right on the edge here. Jeez, denied, denied. Let's keep going. All right, let's see how it's going over here. Hey, how's it going, everyone here? Again, appreciate you guys joining to the Average Angler Life channel, formerly COAF field team. Okay, it's only one of us, so yeah, I finally admitted the team's not coming back together. But hey, you guys can join me. We can be a virtual team. All right, let's see if we can coax another one of these guys to strike. Normally I'll cast in this direction, but all that greenery's there, so I'm gonna go around the other side because there's a couple of shallow spots that are typically holders of bass. And surprisingly, even though the water's fairly shallow, I've caught some pretty decent sized bass for that shallow water. Okay, I'm just kind of casting here about mid pond and see if there may be something out here deeper, just in case. You gotta work it, gotta adjust, you know. Okay, all right, you can see my lure, nothing trailing. Okay, let's go around the other side. Okay, so here's that main road I was telling you about, Bethany. Okay, and then we'll make a right into the other side of this pond and work this side. And when we get done, I would say call it at that point. Got my honey-do list, got some chilling and grilling tonight to do, and lo and behold, if we can do a Q&A this evening, if not tomorrow, I'll certainly do so. Been playing around with some of the cameras. Most recently, I got one of those old Canon SL1s that were going for crazy prices way back, and found a used one for $140. So I jumped on it, and I don't know, it seems like a pretty good camera. Yeah, cool beans. All right, let's go and see if we have any call outs. All right, nope, no call outs. All right, let's go over here. Okay, a lot of vegetation, shallow water here. Here's some shadows. A lot of times when I just spooked something. A lot of times when I'm fishing the heat of summer, I consider shadow structure. There we go, there's a tap. Oh, he went for it. Oh, he came back. Oh, nice. You seen that? He hit it, he tapped it, he hit it again, and then he finally got hooked. 3 strikes, and he's on. Again, shallow water here, very shallow. You can see some of the rocks, I think, in the background here, behind this view here. Give you an idea, that's pretty shallow water, and guess what? There's some bass lurking in there, so let's just make sure that there's not another one out there. So let's go ahead and cast. Oh, God, right on that junk. I saw it too, I was looking straight at it. And I gotta walk around here, because man, there's an undercut right there, and that is where every once in a while a nice 3-4 pounder likes to kind of pounce. What is this? That looks like some cloth. I got lucky there. Wow, it hit me in the shoulder. Gotta be careful. Well, I'm here. Let's cast over here. All right, let's see if we can coax another one here in the shadows. Shadows like structure, especially in the summer. All right, that was cool. I felt the tap, then I saw the strike, and in both of those I missed them, but then he definitely hit on that last one. This one's clobbered. Let me fix it. He actually came out and hit it. Got a little surface action here and a little fall pattern here at the Sonic Pond. Nice. All right, let's go cast out again. And let's see how many we can get another one to strike here. All right, slow and steady. I'm gonna work this shadow area. There's a hit. Look at that. 2 out of the shadows. 2 out of the shadows. Nice. Look at that. He counts. He inline spinner. Mepps Aglia. 1-0. 1-0 or 0, not 1-0. 0. Okay. That one's not turning. Okay. There we go. It's turning now. All right, we were able to coax 2 out of the shadows. Yeah, it's turning. Okay. Let's do one further out. I hadn't cleared this shadowy area yet, so let's see what we can do here. Maybe there's another one that we can pull out. Again, it's shallow water here, about a foot or less in some spots. Okay, let's do one more this way. Kind of take it in along where it's bright into the dark. Let's see if something's lurking there. Nope. Okay, let's walk it up. Let's walk it up. We're just gonna walk the bank now and then we'll close it out. See if we can coax another one before we call it. That one's got junk on it. Some junk in the trunk. Let's clear it. Clear, clear, clear. All right, and so, yes, this is the Average Angler Life channel. One of the formats I do is this right here. Mobile fishing live stream IRL from an Android phone on a neck harness with a mic that actually works pretty good. I got a dead cat on there to muffle the wind noise, and I keep it about a palm length away so I can still stay engaged with y'all, keep you updated on what I'm seeing, talking about, but at the same time still pick up a lot of the noise, but at least it's not as bad as if I did it from my phone. There's another there's a hit. That was a hit. There's another format that I use where there's another hit. I saw him too. Little bass. Okay, was a wireless lav mic. That one I've been using for some videos as well. That's the case where I want to give you another view where yours truly's in the picture, because a lot of times I'm doing, be it some kind of tutorial video or some cooking video, because I definitely like cooking with this induction burner I picked up from Amazon. Definitely cooked a lot of good stuff with that, along with fish as well as steaks. Good stuff. All right, let's see if we can get one of these bass that were out here lurking. There he goes. There he goes. A little guy lurking over there in that slope. Okay, the transition zone. All right. Little guy, not as big as the last one, but hey, he counts. Ultralight bait casting. Cool beans. All right, let's walk it up a little. Seeing some movement. That was a turtle over there. Okay. And then the other format most recently is I've set up my video switcher, HDMI switcher. I've been having a hard time trying to get it tweaked in because it just does a horizontal stream and I wanted a vertical, but I found a workaround to allow me to stream vertically as well as horizontal, plus that new feature that Amazon or that YouTube has started where you can stream both. I find that having that switcher gives me a little bit better presentation of what I'm doing. So I give you one view with one camera, another view from another camera, maybe close up of what I'm working on, be it a fly tie or a demo, I'm trying to show you something. in the case of attaching my iPad, I got an actual video that I want to go over with you guys, or maybe a particular site or something online. I could get that all there without having to spend a lot of time putting some stuff together for you. Instead, I can just get everything on the fly and get that word out to you. You know, that's the key thing. Trying not to be gimmicky or anything. I mainly just want to show you what I do. And hey, I make mistakes. I do have some successes, and I always willing to learn new stuff. I took up ultralight bait casting because one of my subscribers told me about it, and I got hooked. Definitely got hooked once the prices dropped, and I picked up that Casking Zephyr. That was my first BFS reel. There's a little bluegill here and a bass. Both of them came up and kind of looked at it, but did not strike. That's why I cast over there again. All right, looks like we got these little guys kind of lurking along the bank line, the slope line. These tend to be further out too. They're all like kind of right out here. Let's cast it out a little bit further and see if something else may be lurking below. Let's just kind of work it in, see if Mr. Bass will come up and hit it. Oh, all right, let's go back this way where we were. Nothing wrong checking behind you. Sometimes there's one sneaking up behind you. How is it? Oh man, oh man, oh man. I don't know how much time. I gotta run here soon. Okay, I'm gonna fish it quicker just to cover water. I'm not gonna fish it like I normally would, which is a lot more slower. Oh, that one's got some junk. Lift it up. All right. Yeah, it's getting that time. I gotta do a couple errands and then prep for this evening's chillin' and grillin'. Let's see if we can coax another one to strike before we actually have to call it, because I got about that much more to go. Okay, but there's another one chasing behind it. Two little bluegill, little ones, or no, bass, two little fingerling bass. Let me see if I can get him to hit. If he'll come up. There he goes. Oh, visual on that one. He was small. Little fingerling bass. Tagged it. And the only reason why I knew he was there was, one, I saw him with the polarized glasses, but two, I actually saw the line kind of react to that strike that he had. Didn't feel him strike, but I saw the line reacting to what I visually saw him do. Which kind of brings me up the underwater video cameras that I got. I was gonna take some of those out and do some filming, because there's been times where I've gone kayak fishing, trolling, and struck out, and then I took a look at the video, and lo and behold, I had like 50 or so fish follow behind it, and I didn't hook a single one of them. So at least I knew there were fish there. Okay, here, a lot of times there's one kind of lurking right in the shallows here, but there's some greenery where I want to cast, so we may have to just play that one by ear. The other thing you got to be careful of is that anchor for the fountain. It has eaten so many lures over the years. Oh man, something just popped it as it was coming up. Let me see if he'll come back and hit it. Nope. Nope, that one's tangled. Okay, it's all right. Something came up behind it as I was lifting up. He kind of splashed the water. Sort of like when they try getting it as you're lifting, or as you're pulling the lure away from them. All right, let's try here. Work it close. There's a hit. Oh, he's coming back. Two of them. Oh, there were two of them. Oh man, one nice size one and another one just a little bit smaller than it. Let's see if he'll hit it again. Wow, he hit that one as soon as it went in the water. Let's come back. I actually saw that one. See if we can coax him back. He hit it through the hook and then came back for more. And there was a second one. There's it, little guy. Nah, it wasn't this. These guys were bigger than the other ones that I caught earlier, much bigger. And that's what I was saying is a lot of times these guys aren't far from the bank. A lot of times I'll see folks come out and they'll just cast out that way. Oh, I'm gonna cast there. But they're there, you know? Just gotta work it, man. Steady, steady, steady. And in case of an inline spinner, slow and steady, keep that blade moving. Let the fish do the work. All right. Dang, two of them chasing it. Let's go out further here. Okay. Maybe they ran a little bit deeper here. I'm gonna let it sink a little. Okay. Sometimes they don't go very far from where they were, and he was hiding right over there by that shrubbery. I cast right over here, and bang, he hit it soon after it landed in the water. It's almost as if it splashing the water triggered the strike. He was hungry for inline spinner. All right, let's keep working it. One more out here, and then we'll skip this spot and move to the next clear area. Yeah, I'm fishing it much faster than I normally would, but yeah, I got to call it soon. But I don't want to leave too much water left behind. All right, let's move up here. Look at all this great water. If I had my fly rod, I'd definitely be dropping a fly on the other side of that greenery. Okay, right here, we'll stand off, not walk up completely to it, and we'll start working this bank, staying off away from it. Oh, there's some junk on that one. All right. And I can see where the slope starts. It's shallow right here, comes out, and then it starts dropping like here. Okay, so if I can get that angle, I might be able to work it like I should and get me Mr. Bass on. Okay, and I'm gonna stand off away from there because I definitely don't want to spook them. Okay, and polarized glasses to keep an eye on it. More junk in the trunk. Let's get that cleared. Yeah, let's see if we can coax one to strike. Before we go up that way, let's go and clear this spot. Cast out further. Main goal is really, I'm trying to get it closer to this green stuff. Trying to get him to strike right before I get into the green stuff. All right, okay. And again, the whole time I am scanning the water in case visually I see something moving about. And I am, in this case, watching my lure instead of my line because I can see the lure so clearly because the water's so clear. Come on, I need another tug is the drug. All right. Is it? Oh man, it's running a little late. I see some little bluegill. See some blue golly moving about. Okay, I'm gonna work it faster, mainly because I'm running low on time. Okay, let's get it up over here. Take it in closer to the greenery here. You can see my lure, blades moving nicely. No takers though. All right, let's take one a little bit further out. Again, targeting that little slope that I see. Okay, no. All right. Let's go out this way. Okay, got it going pretty close to the greenery here. See if I can get one to jump. No, not that time. All right, let's clear behind us just in case. Just in case. Okay, I can see it moving. No takers. All right, like there, look at that. That was a bass. I saw it. Wasn't a turtle, was a bass, right on the edge. Okay, let's go on and skip it for now. Okay, let's work our way. I see an opening here. And then we may be able to do a couple of casts left and right, play it by ear, but we'll start out back here, pop it out there, and let's see if, there he goes. Something lurking there, little guy. All right, little guy lurking in the shallows. Kind of looks like the ones that were popping it earlier over there by the culvert. It counts. Nice. See if we can get his big buddy. What do you say? Slow and steady, bring her in. Let's see it. Come on. And if you're not able to do any bait finesse style, I've gone out with spin casting gear. I got a bunch of old spin casting gear that I picked up from a bunch of the trout derbies that they offer or that they host during the winter here in the trout stocking season. And usually the kids, first so many get to trout, get a free fishing pole. A lot of times it's a little spin caster or an ultralight rod. And so my kids as well as other kids that I've taken, eventually they outgrow them. And usually mom or dad is like, hey, you want these? And yours truly not one to say no to fishing gear, especially free fishing gear. Yeah, I'll take them. So I use those for the little trout derby that I have, or that we host over there at my day job, over there at this lake that they named Lake Glen after yours truly. Okay, pretty cool having a lake named after you. It's a nice sized lake. I mean, for a city, warehouse complex pond, and I've caught a number of fish out of that thing over the years. So if you do get a chance, again, look at the old videos on this channel, Average Angler Life, and you can see some of the journeys I've had fishing Lake Glen. It's fun. Good stuff. Oh, man, someone's line. Look at this. Had a break off. And let's clear that. That's not good. Got to clear your mono. Get a break off. At least take up as much of it as you can. Wonder what's on the other end of it, though. It's pretty heavy. It's like 17, maybe 17-pound mono. Holy cow. Some heavy gear. Let's see. Looks like I got it right in. That's pretty long. It's out there. Doesn't look like there's anything on it, but hey, let's bring it in. We got to get rid of it. Man, that's a lot of line. Okay, all right, I think I see the end of it coming. Big hook, holy cow. Big hook, holy cow. I wonder what they were trying for. One of those big catfish? There are some big catfish in here. Oh yeah, classic egg sinker circle hook dealie. And dang, you can use that for shark on the coast. All right. Let me go ahead and throw it away. Pretty cool sinker though. Well, yours truly always open for free gear like I was saying, so we'll forego the mono and we'll skip the hook. There we go. All right, cool. let's add that to the tackle box. So I didn't strike out. Got me some fishing gear too. All right, we're gonna call it here shortly. Just gonna finish this section here. Let's see what's lurking here, and then we'll call it. All right, so yeah, this is the format that I use for mobile fishing live stream IRL series. All done live, all done from my Android phone on a neck harness with a microphone to help cut down on some of the noise. Okay. Other formats that I'll use is I'll also use that wireless mic, again with the Android phone. And then I do have a setup where I'll use the DJI Osmo Action 4 along with a GoPro to get some multiple shots. Plus I got some other camera that I like using when I'm kayak fishing. That's one of these fire and forget ones that you just kind of click on and off and it gets the video you need. And then of course I've got the one that I do from a desktop that I can do some Q&A, and then another one where I got that switcher so I can do some tutorials, maybe demo, fly tying, product, just something that worked for me and I just want to get the word out. Here's what it is, and maybe open up for any questions that may come up. And then lo and behold, sometimes we just take pictures. Anyhow, appreciate it. I'm Glenn with the Average Avid Angler channel, and I'm glad you guys were able to join me today on today's round. Mistakes and all, yes, I had a backlash. Yes, I got a little muddy from the water, from a little undercut bank going over, but yes, we also caught a few bass. No big bruisers, a bunch of little scrappy ones, and then some a little bit bigger on this Mepps Aglia Inline spinner, 1/16 ounce ultralight bait casting, aka BFS, Bait Finesse Systems Fishing. And be careful, I tell you what, once you get hooked, it's very hard to break the BFS habit addiction, let alone the fishing addiction. Once you're hooked there we go. Once you're hooked there, this right here is the fun. Nice sized bluegill. Again, up close and personal near the bank. And over there, he spooked up something else. I could see the cloudy, muddy water trail. Maybe it was another bluegill. Maybe it was a bass. Don't know. But he spooked somebody. Let's see if I can get this guy off. Holy cow. There we go. Certainly is fun. Okay, I've got maybe, I'll call it another 15, 20 feet to go. So let's see what happens in this short amount of time or short amount of space. Maybe something else is lurking here. All right. And again, that's all I've been doing. Slow, steady, inline spinner movement. Make sure that blade is moving. When I do get junk on it, yep, you gotta take that junk off. And well, this is one of those times a year where you don't get clobbered as much, because in this case, the pond has definitely cleared up. I can see my lure that whole cast. All right, we're gonna go here. Thought I saw some, oh, it's a little bluegill. Okay, let's go over here right on this culvert. Kind of walk it in slow. Okay, nope. Two little bass, fingerlings, chased it. I see them right now. See if I can get them to come back and hit it. Come on. Nope. Shoot. Let's see if they went back over here. They came up right behind it and chased it. They just kind of tailed it. Didn't hit it. Just kind of tailed it. Nope. Ah. All right. Sometimes there's something lurking in that culvert. So I'll step back from the culvert, cast out, and I'll bring it into the culvert. Slow and steady. Let's see what happens there. Sometimes there's something lurking here. Not that time. All right, just in case, we'll start working the edges. Okay, what I'm doing is I know where the concrete deal goes in the water, and I'm kind of working it adjacent to it, seeing if there's something lurking along that turtle over there to the left. All right, I'm gonna walk it up slowly just to get up here. Yeah, in the summertime, a lot of times I'll catch them right over here where this concrete is in the water. Sort of like maybe it's warmer or something. For whatever reason, they're just kind of lurking there, waiting for something to strike. Yeah, I've had some good success there. Okay, all right, let's do a cast here and let's clear the bank, and then let's just see what happens after that. I mean, we'll call it after that. Of course, I'm pretty bad at last cast. I tend to say I'm gonna be done, but then I tend to, little bass chased it, but then I tend to keep casting. Anyone have that issue? Last cast, last fish, but an hour later, you're actually done? Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I'm very guilty of that. Okay, let's see. Just a short cast here. See if something's lurking right here along this edge. Nope. Okay. Oh, there's a bass right here. Little fingerling. Let's see if I can do a little sight cast and get him to hit. Okay. Oh, I think I hit his tail. I think I surprised him. Came up right behind him and he turned at it. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's go out here. Maybe he's lurking a little bit further down there and he just needs a little coaxing before he decides to strike it. Nope. Okay. All right, let's go this direction. Ooh, I see one. Oh, he just ran. Shoot. Little guy. There he goes. I don't think that was the same one, but hey, that counts. Right there. Along the shallows. Basilito. Nice. Well, might as well cast again, you know, even though I said almost done. Just gotta check it. Yeah. Just checking it. I'm clearing my line. Lure's a little dirty. Yeah. Gotta wash it off. Just rinsing it. Tell you what, I had all the stupid excuses when I was a kid. Yeah, this next one, I'm gonna get one. Yeah. And guess what? I'm still a kid when it comes to fishing. My body may say otherwise, but I still feel like a kid when I'm fishing. All right, let's get one out there. Okay, come on. Let's feel the tug. Give me the tug. Pop it, shake it, twist it, just like Hank Patterson says. If it shakes, if it wiggles, if it pauses, whatever, set the hook. I am a proponent of that methodology, hence one of our mottos. When in doubt, set the hook, and then when in doubt, set the hook, and we call it tug is the drug, and definitely learn by my trials and errors, because yep, I am not the expert. I just like to fish, and I certainly enjoy y'all's company, virtually, fishing with me. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it this time. All right. So in the case of when my kids, they knew I was done was if I had a 2-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece rod and I start breaking it down, they knew I was done. The part they hated was when I'd go with a 1-piece. They had no clue. I could change my mind at the drop of a hat. We'll see what happens there. Other than that, appreciate you guys joining. Do stay tuned. I'll plan on getting maybe a Q&A session going with this, if not some shorts to just show you some of the action here, as well as an edited version of this. All right, next time I'll catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.